Welcome back to another startup pitch battle session, the last of the day here at the Tech Talk stage. The rest will continue on the main stage in the second part of the afternoon. Now, let's get going. This is a wildcard session for Climate X, a lot of unique pitches. Let's hear what they have to say. Without further ado, the first pitch of the day is Salvador Perez, CEO and founder of Chemdoc Water Technologies.
Water scarcity is here. The demand will exceed resource by 40% in 2035, and we only reuse 3% of wastewater. That's the starting point. So we see we have a huge opportunity to safeguard the business continuity, recycling water. I'm the founder of Chemdoc Water Technology. It is a mission-driven company. We have a commitment to recycle water volumes, to use less energy and less chemicals. We design and build systems for water treatment, purification, and recycling. We are in France. We are 56 people, and we have a target to reach 30 million euros sales by 2030, with the half of sales as a water service model with our fleet, loaning our technology. And what makes us very different is we use membranes to do that, but we use refurbished membranes. We dispose 4 million membranes per year in the world. There is no way of use them. We put them in landfill or incineration. And we need them to reuse water for industry because the water quality is very challenging. So we use them, but we transform them by a chemical attack to make membranes of nanofiltration. We do this for any purpose in industrial needs, for facilities, energy, steam, cooling, drinking water with the PFAS concern also. Some examples in the drinking industry, where we have a very short loop, zero liquid discharge, where we use the food-grade water inside the plant, and to concentrate the organics, the pollution, we use it as a methanogen product to become energy positive. Another one is one of our trucks in the fleet to recycle any kind of resource in any kind of usage water, process, anyone. And another one is wastewater treatment plant from a community in Set to feed with drinking water quality grade, an industrial plant, saving each day 1,000 liters per day. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Salvador, for the pitch. We have jury questions.
Sorry.
Any jury questions here?
Thank you very much. The first question, what is your business model? So do you sell the membranes, or do you also give the service and support?
Actually, our business model is mainly sales of systems with all the services we have around, so maintenance, some operation, all the consumer you can have, but we are pivoting to the water as a service. But we have to build the fleet. Today we have 15 containers, and we loan them. It is a very good model because it's difficult to have capex in industry today. And with innovative application, it is a decision that is long to take. In OPEX situation, it's easy to go to decision, so it is better for us. It is a recurrent revenue. Yes. So by 2030, we expect to have half of our sales income by loaning equipment. And the membrane, we will sell them later. At the moment, we use them for our systems. We need some years of development to be able to have a quality grade to sell it as a membrane to other actors.
Perfect. Any other question? If you can make it really quick.
Yeah. What about the cost of the system? Like that 800,000 liter a day system. How much it cost?
In the last example, you mean?
Penultimate, yeah. The
truck. 1800. It's about. It's about also 800,000 euros investment.
Perfect. Thank you, Salvador, for that pitch. Thank you very much. Next up, we have Carsten Brinkschulte, CEO of Dryad Networks.
Thank you. Yeah, hello, Carsten Brinkschulte, CEO of Dryad Networks. Dryad is about wildfire detection, ultra-early wildfire detection. Wildfires are a huge risk financially and to climate. About 20% of global CO2 emissions are stemming from wildfires. It's about the same amount the entire traffic puts into the air worldwide. Financially, they're devastating. I think you remember January last year where LA was burning. That was a damage of about $250 billion, caused mainly by power lines that actually triggered 3 of those fires that caused these damages. Dryad is about technology to prevent these and mitigate these with ultra-early detection. We differentiate ourselves with what we call ultra-early detection. So cameras and satellites are great to manage fires that already spread out of control with large-scale response and coordinating thousands of firefighters. We take a different and complementary approach. We want to detect fires at the early stages within minutes from ignition, enabling firefighters to extinguish the fire before they spread out of control. We have developed SilverNet, which is a solar-powered off-grid mesh network infrastructure and solar-powered gas sensors that are actually installed in the forest or along power lines in the wildland-urban interface that can detect fires within minutes from ignition and enable the firefighters to extinguish before it spreads out of control. The system is a network, a mesh network that's solar-powered that can be extended into large-scale deployments, independent of existing network infrastructure. Simply hang them on the trees and they can live for 10 to 15 years operating in the forest. This is what we have today. The product is fully industrialized. We've got 30,000 sensors installed, 50 plus clients. But now we're taking a step forward. We're building autonomous drone systems and multiple sensor applications into the networks that we have already installed. Our vision is to put an end to wildfires and save one of our most vital assets on this planet with a product called SilverGuard that's currently under development, extending SilverNet with an autonomous drone system that will actually autonomously fly without a pilot and extinguish those fires that we detect within minutes before it can cause those damages that we're seeing so much of. The product that we industrialized and fully scaling now with many clients around the world is quite cost effective. It's about $100 per sensor that can support and protect 1 hectare of forest and can live for 10 to 15 years. We've got a subscription model to build recurring revenue, more than 50 customers live, and revenues last year, 4 million revenue, and we're seeking a 16 million Series A plus round to extend our sales and marketing operations. And that's Dryad. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. You nailed the timing there on the 3 minutes.
Yes,
you
I
very
guess
much.
that was the target.
Any jury questions? There's one here.
Thank you very much. How do you monitor the sensors? Do you have a software? How do you know that they are intact?
Yes, we have the sensors, we have the network infrastructure, and we've got a cloud platform that manages the network and the sensors and monetizes the data coming out of the sensors with a recurring 20% subscription fee. So we basically hook the customers into paying a subscription fee for the platform.
So that means they buy the sensor and they pay the subscription fee.
They have to, because without the platform, the sensors are useless.
Any other jury question? Yeah.
Just a quick. So, I was very impressed by the customers that you have. Cal Fire, PG&E, a lot of the U.S. utilities that you said that had all the issues with the fires. But even with those big customers, your revenue is not quite there yet. So, like, what is the addressable market from your perspective? How big can you really get, and how quickly can you get? Because it's a phenomenal solution, but if it doesn't make money, I'm not.
Well, it will take time to go. We've got sales cycles of 12 to 18 months. These are utilities, snails on tranquilizer, I think. I've heard other people say that. So it takes time. We've got long sales cycles, but very reliable and long-term customers. It's not just power lines and railroads. We also sell to forestry departments. Revenues are coming up. We went from 700,000 euro 2024 to 4 million in 2025. This year we want to do 16.
In the US, it's insurance companies that would look all over this.
Insurance companies are too slow for that. It makes sense theoretically, but practically they don't buy.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Next up for the pitches, we have Jordyan Woodley, CEO and co-founder of EcoSafi.
Hello, am I on? Is this, it's on? Okay, great. Hi, everybody. My name is Jordy, and I brought a little treat for you all. My technology is portable. So most of the time, I light it on fire, and it hasn't set off a smoke detector yet, but I don't think our host would appreciate me doing that today. So there is a $300 billion industry that is untapped globally that emits 1.5 gigatons of carbon and accounts for 3% of our global carbon emissions every single year, more than the aviation industry. It is dirty fuels across the developing world, both in the industrial context and the household context. EcoSafi has developed a new fuel layer that leans on pyrolysis and gasification, for those of you in the room who are a little more engineering inclined. We are vertically integrated, in which we make our own fuel out of the agricultural economy from all sorts of different agricultural waste. It's totally natural. It's totally natural. And when this fuel warms up, it releases a syngas that burns just like LPG. It's beautiful blue flame. It can be a drop-in replacement in industrial boilers, or it can be used in the home as a cooking device. We have two streams on a very handsome profit of our revenue. Right now, we focus on Africa, and specifically Kenya. It's a brilliant market to get ideas for the global south off the ground. And in Africa, it's a $40 billion industry, which is the equivalent of the bottled water industry globally and also the coffee industry globally. So it is just untouched. And people have been working for 40 years at it. But just having a great device isn't enough. So we are vertically integrated. We produce our own pellets in multiple countries. We design and produce the only Tier 5 biomass stove in the world by WHO standards, meaning it's as clean as LPG and electricity to use in your home, but it's using biomass as the fuel. It's a cheaper solution, both for the industrial and consumer contexts, and it's absolutely taking off. We combine that with end-to-end monitoring so that we have very high-quality data on usage, and we have a second revenue stream, which is carbon. We have just agreed a $100 million offtake with a European government under Article 6.2, entirely based on the auditability of the fact that when we say someone is using this instead of that, we really can prove it. So we're in a position now in our growth that we have de-risked this vertically integrated business model, and now we're searching for scale. For those of you who say, you know what, Africa, not my geography. We focus on Europe. I will tell you the majority of our investors are Silicon Valley and Europe-based and are carbon buyers, and of course the government itself, who is buying from us for the next 6 years at a record-breaking price, is also Europe-based. We're a US holding company, so I would focus less on where we have our operations and more of where the revenues are coming from the company. So I would urge you, if you have any interest at all, come chat with me, send me an email to jordy@ecosafi.com, because this is de-risked. Right now we're looking for the unlock to scale.
Sorry, Jordyan, I'm going to have to cut you off.
Okay, great.
Thank you very
problem.
much for your pitch. And now jury questions. Jury, please be reminded to introduce yourself before asking the question.
Great.
Any jury questions? Yeah.
Hi. Vaiva Palma from GTech. So the fuel, so you are selling this to individuals and to businesses, the whole device, plus then you have the fuel inside, right? But the fuel needs to be refilled, if I understand it correctly.
The fuel is what?
It needs to be refilled, renewed, like from time to time. You need
It's
to
a
deliver.
utility model. The fuels, we sell the fuel, we don't sell the stove. We retain the asset of the stove, and it is a drop-in fuel for existing boilers in the industrial context. So they don't have to change any of their technology in the industrial side to use our fuel.
Okay, understood. Thank you.
Yep.
Any other jury questions? Yeah.
What's the cost difference versus, like I'm thinking about heating oil replacement and gas replacement as it relates to district heating network. So what's the cost comparison to gas and heating oil, fuel oil?
Compared to gas, so it's less about heating homes in the global south. It's more about the industrial context. So we're significantly less than the other fuels. It sort of depends what fuels they're depending on. In the consumer context, we're 40 to 50% less expensive than any other cooking source that they could access.
Second question, yeah.
Maybe one more. How do you manage the logistics? Because if it's a consumer product and you are based in a totally different continent, do you have a local network or?
Yeah, we have a hub and spoke model, and then the last mile logistics is managed through a network of dealers that we distribute through. So we have several hundred dealers in every country, and they manage that last mile logistics. But all of the payments come to us against a customer's account. So we're incredibly data rich when we're supporting that logistics. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you, Jordyan, for your pitch.
Thank you, everyone.
Next, we have Ørjan Aukland, CEO of GreenCap Solutions AS.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. There is a large unaddressed carbon emissions gap within industrial decarbonization. Current carbon capture technologies works okay with high concentration industrial sources, but for low concentration industrial emitters, there is no good solutions today. Industries like aluminum production, natural gas power generation, and ceramics and glass represents over 2,000 million tons of CO2 emissions annually. This is the gap which GreenCap is solving. My name is Ørjan Aukland. As said, I'm working with energy and venture within the last 15 years. And at GreenCap, we have developed our carbon capture technology platform the last 10 years, patented the technology globally. We have partnership with industry leaders such as Honeywell, Munters, and Hydro, and we commercialized our first product in 2022. Our solution is based on a solid sorbent system, utilizing only standard available components, making it very cost efficient with no toxic waste as part of the process, built modular and easy scalable. The market we are addressing is one of the largest untapped opportunities in industrial decarbonization. There is over many thousands of industrial sites worldwide from these low concentration emitters, which doesn't have a good solution today. With rising regulatory activity and higher carbon prices, we see that this market is getting economic addressable today. It's not just a concept. We have been doing this for many years, commercialized our first product in 2022, delivering over 30 of these systems worldwide, generating over 6 million euros in revenue the last years. And now we are currently adapting this solution for the aluminum industry. Hydro and Rio Tinto has jointly allocated $45 million to develop a carbon capture solution for their production. We are currently undergoing small-scale testing with an ambition to build a first-of-a-kind full-scale installation within 2030. This is not only a critical step for the aluminum production, but also as a blueprint for scaling the system into new markets. So our business model is hardware lock-in with recurring software services on top, like monitoring, optimization, and performance management. And now we are entering our next stage, scaling into new markets and looking for industrial partners and investors who help us unlock these markets. So if you are working with industrial emissions or a partner investor in climate tech, I will be happy to connect. Thank you.
Thank you, Ørjan. Now for the jury questions.
So carbon capture is, I mean, you've been working for quite some years on that as well, and there are multiple companies doing carbon capture solutions. How would you differentiate yourself, both from the business model, from the product, and also in terms of the price?
I think we are maybe the only carbon capture company in the world making money. Our business model is quite different from many of the other low concentration emitters, like technologies like DAC. We have, from the start, targeted industrial applications. So we want to build revenue and scale the technology together with the commercial industrial players. We are also not toxic with some of the other carbon capture, more conventionalists. They have toxic waste in their process. This is also, of course, a big plus with our technology.
And price-wise, if you say that you're the only one that is profitable, does that mean that other carbon capture companies are having customers, but they have a better price, not making the profit?
I think that on the technical, economical side, I think we are representing some of the most novel carbon capture in terms of cost per ton. There is also, of course, other industries with the same potential. I think what differentiates us is how we have approached the market, and we have not been so into the CDRs, been more looking at the regulatory framework and the quota system, which has been incorporated for a long time in Europe, and now we see it starting in Asia and other regions as well. It will take time, but this is how we work.
And thank you for your presentation.
Thank you.
Next up for this section, it's Barak Manbar, co-founder and CEO of Naki.
Good morning. My name is Barak. I'm the CEO of Naki. But before I'm sharing what is Naki about, I wonder who checked the news in the last month like me? Please raise your hand. Okay. So I'm aware that most of you know that we have a problem with the supply chain of oil and know what's happened to the oil prices in the last few years. But for me, it's strange because in the same time, the food industry investing millions to disposal energy waste. And I'm seeing here a multi-billion opportunity to convert this waste to be the next commercial oil and sustainable oil to replace the use of fossil oils. So it's not a dream anymore. At Naki, we already will start to use this month the first commercial site to convert the food industry waste to be a sustainable oil that replaces the use of fossil oil at the refineries. And the size, it's only a container, and it's a plug-and-play solution that's using chemicals for a carbon-negative process. But the big news here is that we are doing that in only $35 per barrel. And we are creating the local circular economy that's using the local waste to feed the local refinery. So every refinery just can replace the feedstocks that they are using today. As I mentioned, we will start to use our first commercial site now, but in the end of this year, we'll start to operate in Europe, a first commercial site in Poland. I'm not doing that alone. I'm doing that with my great multidiscipline team. So, if you are here and you want to have access to $35 of barrel of oil, you're welcome to contact me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Barak, for the presentation. Any jury questions?
Thank you so much. You said that you're using food waste is there any specifications? Is it anything that you can use? And this is question number one. Question number two, where do you get it from? Let's say if you have a customer, are you providing that waste? Are you having some partnerships for that?
So the system located at the food industry himself. We are doing only food industry waste. And every factory is using fats or oil at the process. Normally they have such an organic waste. It's a fatty sludge. And this is what we are processing. And actually we have two products, the oil to refineries and a protein to the biogas or biomethane, whatever.
Okay. And with the biogas and biomethane, then you sell it as a byproduct?
It's our byproduct. For them, it can be a continuous product. We approve it, the quality already with the client. And the good thing, if they taking today such a waste, so they have to blend it with cellulose to have less fats.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you, Barak,
Thank
for
you
your
very much.
presentation. Next up on the stage, we have Bartosz Sroka, Chief Engineer at NanoSci.
Hello. Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay, so I will start dramatically. 1/3 of what world produces in food goes to waste every year. It's a $1 trillion loss every year. And it's a huge problem for us as a society and for us as a energy intake. When it comes to fruits and vegetables, it's even higher. It's around 40% of fruits and vegetables being lost to spoilage. Only in European Union, it's around 132 million euro a year. The invisible culprit there is most of the time two things: ethylene gas and fungal spores. Ethylene gas causes food spoilage, and the fungal spores are responsible for mold, gray mold, blue mold. So we made something that saves the day here. And this is Jupiter. It's an air purification unit. It doesn't have any HEPA filter. It doesn't produce any ozone. It's completely safe to be around 24/7 by people. How it works? It uses photocatalysis. So we shine UV light on our patented porous photocatalyst, and it just makes everything, most of it, I think, organic, into the CO2 and water. That one device works on multiple verticals: cold storage units, vertical farms, food processing units. What seals the deal here is that when we use Jupiter, we can store food on much higher temperatures. Instead of 1, we can do 4. And that causes up to 25% of return when it comes to energy intake for cold storage units. We have first clients. We mounted it up into Żabka. This is Polish 7-Eleven. Matchfit, one of the top ready meal producers. And we have a project in the Philippines for cold storage units that will be used by the government. First recommendation: one of the biggest food Argo consultants is using our clients, is using our products. Why now? Mostly because of the European Union regulation, and our market is quite vast. Around the world is 9 billion. When it comes to market that we can reach is around 45 to 60 million euro. Why?
Sorry, I'm going to have to cut you off there.
Yeah.
Just about. Any jury questions? Yep.
I saw the answers to my questions on the last slide, but I'll give you a chance to answer yourself. What is the price of this unit, and what is the business model?
Yeah, that was the that was the one. So the price of the unit is €800, and the model we are selling it with sensors. So we sell it through companies like Fresh Mazovia, which are consultants that work directly with farmers, and we are selling it through. Sorry, that's my personal watch that monitors the time. And we are selling that to a distribution network. So we manufacture the layer, we put it into the device, we sell it to distributors with the sensors, so they can also verify that it works, actually, which is probably the biggest change in the market from our point of view.
Perfect. Any other questions?
Per unit, how many square feet or square meters do you service? Or
Gotcha.
cubic, sorry.
So I will give you an example, maybe that'll be better. So we treat apples most of the time right now. And in the warehouse, quite common on apples, it's 10 by 10 by 12 meters. We use 9 devices.
Any other questions? Thank you, Bartosz, for that presentation.
Thank you.
Next, we have Sebastian Feimblatt, co-founder and co-CEO of Oasis AS.
Hello, everyone. Sebastian Feimblatt, co-founder of Oasis. We are building the future of water supply. Desalination powered entirely by wave power. The world relies on desalination, and by 2030, we will need 20 billion cubic meters of desalinated water. But desalination as we know it, it's not able to deliver that amount. It relies on land, it relies on managing brine, and specifically relies on electricity from the grid. And electricity from the grid is competing with other activities, as mentioned here before, with more demand for infrastructure electrification, and it's not able to cope with the demand as we're looking at it. But especially in remote locations and areas that are relying on desalination, the main problem is that that grid relies on fossil fuels. And that makes the solution unreliable and just not feasible for today's demand. We are solving the problem with a floating unit that uses mechanically the movement from the wave power to desalinate water. We use the movement from the waves to mechanically drive the reverse osmosis system that delivers fresh water to shore with zero emission, not relying on the grid, not relying on any additional energy source, and independent from any other energy source. We make it efficient and commercial. And we deliver 2,000 cubic meters per day in one buoy. That's enough water for 15,000 people. As we don't rely on any land cost and no electricity cost and no brine impact, we managed to lower traditional desalination costs by 50%. And especially, we don't rely on international situations for the oil supply. Our water is stable, commercial, and predictable. We have a big team behind this. We're 12 people. My co-founder, Thomas, and the inventor brings 30 years in the offshore and maritime experience from Norway, working in Aker Solution and DNV, making the solution strong, together with my experience in consulting, especially in energy, and the market just brings the whole team together to deliver the solution. We have tested the solution at full scale, finishing last year with great results. Now we're building the first commercial setting together with the water utility in Gran Canaria. We've been named strategic project for the islands, and we got €6 million grant to support that delivery. And we're expanding globally, already starting projects in Chile. We're raising €6 million to build the future of water supply, delivering infrastructure that is distributed, resilient, and sustainable. Join us to build the future of that infrastructure. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sebastian, for your presentation.
Thank you.
Any jury questions for Sebastian?
There's actually two. One is, in terms of the longevity of the product, I mean, it's got to be an infrastructure-grade product that is able to withstand the sea for many years. So if you could talk about that. And second is, how do you compare to other desalination in terms of technologies, in terms of cost? Because that's everything in the water space.
Yes,
Right?
exactly. So the first one we designed with the same standards of offshore industry from Norway, more than 30 years standing in the ocean, standing all the worst potential storms. And that's the base design for us. That's what my colleague and co-founder Thomas brings to the table. The second one is cost. By not using any electricity, normally electricity cost in desalination, it's between 40 and 60% of the variable cost. We are saving all that. We have some extra cost on the capex. We compensate that. We're normally facing between 40 and 60% cost reduction compared to traditional desalinations.
Another question, or that was answered? Brilliant. Any other questions? Perfect. Thank you, Sebastian, for your presentation. Next up, we have Andre Cheung, founder and CEO of Robotics Cats.
Let's talk about protecting Spain's solar backbone from triple threats. We build AI wildfire detections and climate resilience technologies. We protect customers in 14 countries. Our AI wildfire detection software as a service detect ignitions in both nighttime and daytime. Our solar PV customers in Brazil using our software to mitigate their surrounding wildfire risk. We learn from them that vegetation growth and wildlife inside their power plant are their operational challenges. We have the same challenges in Europe. EU has the worst ever fire seasons in 2025. More than 1 million hectares of forest area were burnt, 40%, 400,000 hectares in Spain. Inshore nowadays requires vegetation management. Bird can reduce yield by 50% plus. We co-create with our customer solution to address these triple threats. Feimblatt. Feimblatt is now protecting solar power plants in Chile and Brazil. First, our AI detections detect outbreak at 15 kilometers plus. Our system monitors vegetation growth and ensures compliance with insurance requirement. Our AI detects birds and automatically trigger acoustic deference. Zero capex. We work on existing cameras. CCTV, cloud AI, and real-time alert and interventions. We make existing hardware 10 times smarter. We are now serving paid customers in 14 countries. We avoided 4.8 million tons of CO2 emissions in Australia in 2024. This week, we are deploying a new customer in Greece. Business model. Our product mix range from $500 per year per camera to $2,500. And our channel partners ranging from CCTV integrator, automation provider, and renewable energy consultants. They help us to scale globally. The team, with 25 years in IP networking and wildfire detections, we spread across 4 countries and speak 7 languages. And we now working with our investor in Asia on our Series A. And here in Spain, we are looking for pilots and utility introductions. Thank you.
Thank you, Andre. Any jury questions?
Thank you. What would you say is your main unique value proposition compared to your competitors?
Oh, okay, really 2 things, 2 dimensions. One is distance. We really want to detect early stage wildfire really far away. Oftentimes, the fire is not started in your asset, in your neighborhood area. Protect your neighborhood as safe as yourself. The second one is time to deploy. We don't know what happened tomorrow. We really want to reduce the deployment time. That's why we build our software, work on existing camera. There are thousands of camera vendors. We work hard on making our software working with any one of them. Cool questions.
Any more questions? Yeah, Jordyan.
I can ask one more. So you are taking care of the software, and how does it work for the end user? So let's say once the fire is detected, middle of the night, what happens to me if I'm the owner of the solar park?
Oh, cool. We work with national parks. They work close with the firefighters. When we receive an alert, they definitely call the authority to do something. Similar for energy companies and forest plantations. For homeowners, again, two things. We advise them, call 911 or authority. Second, pack your backpack, evacuate. Yes.
Okay, but so that happens automatically from your side?
Yes, automatic alert, and then we have our own portal, and we also send alert to you through WhatsApp, Telegram, whatever you use. Make it easy.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Gracias, lindo día.
Thank you, Andre, for your presentation. Next, we have Berlin Raj, co-founder and CEO of Totex Energy.
Okay. Hi, everyone. How are you doing? Let's start this way. As a kid, I was like obsessed with power electronics. I got electrocuted hundreds of times building things. I didn't listen to my parents not to work with electricity. Now I end up being here with all of you in Spain today. It's great to be here. The same obsession made me to start a company in India, helping hospitals in India with their power systems. This is a 100-bed hospital in India. This is how they manage their power. We'll go in a hospital like this, change a power system like this to help them manage their power. We did these projects all across India in a very challenging environments. In all these projects, our biggest headache came from heating, cooling, and hot water. That accounts for over 70% of the energy demand. That is where the biggest cost comes from. So we decided to build Totex. So Totex is an all-in-one single device that does heating, cooling, hot water, even pool heating, and backup power with built-in energy storage, more than 4 Tesla batteries made of both lithium storage and thermal energy storage. We're starting with single-family homes. So a builder needs all these different things for energy. Air conditioner, water heater, EV charger, battery, panel upgrade, all of them cost over $65,000. Totex does all of this in a single device at fraction of the cost of $24,000. Because Totex is 30% more efficient than any of these combined, to achieve the energy efficiency rating, builders don't need to spend more money on the insulation and triple pane glass windows, things like that. Now, there's no separate, everything is installed as single go. So we can reduce the installation time by also 60% faster. Now, this is where it gets very interesting. Now, Totex makes the entire building's loads into grid capacity. Now, all the loads we move to time when the energy price is closest to zero or negative. Now, everything moved to close to zero. Now we sell customers a cheaper fixed rate energy plan, 20% cheaper than the market rate. Then, when the energy price goes super, super high, we export to the grid, help the grid make more money. But with the traditional systems, they all run during this time, have no idea what's going on, add stress to the grid, increase the energy cost. Now we compare Totex to the current method of adding grid capacity, like gas plants and grid-scale batteries. Totex is 100 times faster and 6 times cheaper than the best alternative. And even the good story is, this cost is paid by our customer. So that makes Totex to add grid capacity in the most capital least way of doing it.
Thank you, Berlin. I'm going to have to cut you off there. Thank you.
Yes.
Any jury questions?
Thank you very much. You mentioned that your customer, one of your customers is hospitals. What other segments are you looking into?
So now we focus on single-family homes in the US. So we're working with 4 of the top 10 volume builders in the US to scale rapidly. We're starting with single-family homes, then we'll get other mid-scale commercial buildings and stuff.
Okay, then directly from this, the second question. So you showed that all of these separate devices would cost about 60,000, your device 24. If you focus on single-family homes, they don't necessarily need all of these components. Is it still very cost-efficient for them to use your device instead of using just maybe out of the 9 different combinations, they maybe just need 2 or 3?
It's a very good question. So our cost is comparing to just with air conditioning and water heater. We beat the price just with air conditioner and water heater. That is mandatory in all the buildings, so it's still cost effective. With Totex, they're also getting backup power and energy recovery, ventilation, and other things.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I looked at your website briefly and looked at the cost comparison. So it's 2,500 square feet in Texas.
Yes.
Most homes are actually bigger and they're not in Texas. How well can it, because in the system that you outlined, sorry, I'm critiquing a little bit, but system you outlined is able to handle extremely cold temperatures. Most heat pumps fail in cold temperatures. Like at -5 Celsius, you're screwed because your energy costs go 10x. So how does Totex handle some of the extreme conditions on a cold side?
Yeah. Good question. We tested up to -20 degrees Celsius, and we are doing a pilot in Boston to test for -30 degrees Celsius. It's rated for cold climate.
Okay.
On the capacity-wise, an average home need around like 3.5 tons. Totex is 6.5 tons, so it can like go on like very cold climate without activating resistive heating.
Perfect. Thank you, Berlin.
Thank you.
And the last pitch of this section and for the day, it's Nicolas Weber, CEO and co-founder of Voltiris.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here. I'm Nicolas. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Voltiris. I have the honor to close, I think, all the pitches for the week, no? So at Voltiris, we provide renewable energy for greenhouses without compromise on the crops. Let me take you in the world of agriculture. Greenhouses represent a key solution for the future of agriculture. Can have higher yields, local supply chain, less water, less pesticides, and as such, global greenhouse surface is increasing rapidly. The Rabobank expects that we'll have about 70,000 hectares of high-tech greenhouses worldwide by 2030. One key issue that growers are facing is that today they rely on fossil fuels. Those fossil fuels are becoming increasingly more expensive, volatile, and they emit CO2. Solar could be an amazing solution to power the greenhouses of tomorrow, but existing solar solutions have one main key issue. That is, they cannot be deployed directly in the greenhouse because they shade. If you take away light from the crops, you're going to take away yield from the growers, and therefore you cannot compensate the loss of yield with the energy production. What we do at Voltiris is that we unlock the full surface of greenhouses to power the electrification of the growers and of our agriculture of tomorrow. The way we do this is that we developed unique solar panels that rely on something called spectral filtering. We filter the light from the sun. The part of the light necessary for photosynthesis goes through our solution so that the crops can grow in their regular way. The light not used by photosynthesis is harvested and transformed into renewable energy by concentrating it onto a small solar cell. For the growers, we provide the benefits of shade while also having the full light needed for the growth of their crops. We can power their electrification needs for the adoption of heat pumps, batteries, LEDs, robots, other automation systems, and very importantly of the field of what we call agrivoltaics, we don't need any building permits. We can go extremely fast when it comes to deploying our solar assets with growers. This is what our solution looks like. So we have this very distinctive pink color that comes from the solar spectral filtration. The perspective that we open is that all the high-tech greenhouses worldwide become potential solar fields. At the global level, it's an untapped opportunity to deploy solar assets of about 35 gigawatt peak and an additional 1.5 gigawatt peak every year that is added. For growers, we offer them an energy as a service because they need so much electricity on site. We can offer a long-term off-taker contract via PPA, and we work with our own financing partners to finance and deploy the solar assets directly on site so that they don't need to put down the initial investments to benefit from our solution. Voltiris now is deploying, so we work with key partners in terms of growers, key industrial partners, also both in terms of greenhouse builders, utilities, financing partners, and we're working also at the global level. So this year we aim to do about 8 million in sales. Next year about 15 million that is targeted. And we also aim to do a Series A round for Q2 2027. We currently have a team of about 35 people in between Switzerland and the Netherlands. Very happy to engage. What we offer is the key piece of the electrification puzzle of greenhouses. And I would love for you to be part of the journey if you're interested. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nicolas, for that presentation. Any last jury questions?
Thank you. What are the costs for the customers compared to more conventional solutions?
So the conventional solutions for growers very often now is the grid. When we look at grid prices, for example, in Switzerland, we have the energy as a service solution that we offer. Usually we offer a 30% discount on the energy contract that we can provide. So it's a 30% cost reduction on the kilowatt hours that they're going to consume from our solar panels versus their alternative that is the grid.
And if you compare it to, for example, solar, so let's say if the customer has their own solar park next to the greenhouses, is it still cheaper to go with
the
your
solar
solution?
is way cheaper. The thing is they don't have sufficient solar. That's the entire point. That is for the electrification and for all the needs they have, they're lacking sufficient supply. And Voltiris is not, I would say, against solar. We usually recommend growers to start with solar, and I could imagine that down the line, we'd even combine ourselves, selling solar or standard solar panels in addition or in complement to our own solar assets. The main advantage that we have versus solar is something that I don't go deep into here, is that we also provide agronomical benefits. If we provide 100 in value, 60 comes from the energy cost and 40 in terms of the agronomical value that they can get from it. And this is something that is quite important also for the growers.
And maybe one more question then. Do you have your technology patented?
We have 3 patents on the optical properties of the solution. We also have a tracker, obviously, that I cannot show here. And we also have joint IP with 3M. So we work with 3M on the design of the spectral films. And 3M is also one of our shareholders and main investors.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Nicolas,
Thank you very
for
much.
your presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you. And that was it for the pitch battle finalists. Thank you to all the pitchers who pitched their segment. Thank you to the jury for your questions.